Today, everyone is asking if AI will take over the anime. But why is she black? Jokes aside, AI will not take over the anime because for Japan, anime is not just random cartoon. It's part of their culture at this point. But the question is, how did it become part of their culture? How did anime even born? You won't believe when I say this, but the reason anime look like this is because of a disaster.
It wasn't me!
But the question is, how did a country that looked like this become this? How did they able to convince the entire planet that cartoon is not just for kids? It was the time of August 1945. Two atomic bombs completely destroyed Japan. Because of America, everything was gone. Cities were looked like ruins. People were starving. They had no food to survive. It was a complete apocalypse for them. And when the American forces rolled in with their culture, they brought one thing, Disney. Now imagine you are a Japanese artist in 1945 living there, and then you see this. Drawings, just drawings, moving so smoothly that feels like they're alive. And then something clicked. Some artists look at that and thought they can do this. For some time, Japanese animators were creating small TV commercials. They don't have any story or studio to make anime. But then this guy came, Ozuma Tezuka.
Yes, I
A medical student who's supposed to be a doctor. Before the Disney came, his life plan was settled to become a doctor, like every other Asian parents want.
You doctor yet?
No, Dad, I'm 12.
But this dude was obsessed with animation. He skipped medical lectures just to draw the mangas. And at some point, he gave up on becoming a doctor. Can you imagine the conversation with his parents? You dropped out from medical school to draw some cartoons? In 1950s of Japan, the audacity was insane. But Tezuka had this crazy vision. He looked at Japanese animation, which was a 30-second ad, and thought to change it. He wanted stories, real stories, characters that you can care about. He wanted to make them people feel the emotion. And to his luck, he was not alone with his goal. Because other animation studios already wanted to become like Disney. But it was a dream for them. Because remember, Japan didn't have money at that time. And a dream to make animation not just for entertainment, to take all of the studio monthly budget just to animate one episode just like Disney's, and they needed to create 52 episodes in a year. And because of that, what Tezuka did, created the history. He created a completely new animation style. Yes, that big anime eyes that everyone knows. See, Western cartoons have these small eyes while anime eyes were much bigger. Now, this was not an artistic choice. It's because of desperation. With these big eyes, it was way easier to show the emotions than animating the whole face. And somehow, it worked. Yes, they created the whole anime style just because they were too broke to make it right way. But the TV station was still not buying it. You see, the animation was not famous back then. So the sponsors obviously thought that it will not work. Everyone will keep saying that people won't watch this. But Tezuka had already gave all of it. He was betting everything on something that everyone thought would fail. And then at the January 1st of 1963, Astro Boy premieres on Japanese TV. And after some time, when the ratings came in, they were shocked because 27% of the Japanese television was turned on. 27% on the first ever episode. Kids went insane after that. Astro Boy toys were sold out in days. And what really mattered here is kids wasn't the only one watching it. Adults, teen, people who don't watch cartoon watch cartoon. What? Because of this, Astro Boy wasn't the cartoon. It became the anime. Because that robot boy was dealing with discrimination, his identity. It was too shallow to call a kid show. And because of that, Japanese government also noticed it. See, after the war, Japan had the image problem. The whole world was seeing them, the bad guys. So they needed something that can help to rebuild their image. And when they noticed the Astro Boy, they started to investing in it. They started funding the animation school, tax breaks from studios, and started to promote anime internationally. And because of that, this film got real. And because of one single animated show, by the time of 70s and 80s, anime was already spreading everywhere. The titles like Gundam, Sailor Moon, Hajime no Ippo, Dragon Ball was already spreading at an insane speed. And then something wild happened. American kids started to watch a specific show, Pokemon. Pokemon hit US in 1998 and then it exploded there. Japan's soft power worked there. They were exporting their culture with the cartoons that no thought would happen. As of today, anime is now a total of $30 billion industry. Billion. B. Spirited Away won an Oscar. Your Name and Demon Slayer made more earnings than the Hollywood movies. Demon Slayer broke the records that stood for decades. And now Netflix is also begging Japanese studio for more content. Crunchyroll has this as a whole streaming service exclusive for the anime. And now it's not just a business, it's a culture to them. Japan did it. A country that was born into nothing invented a new art style to copy the Disney, bet everything on cartoon that everyone says to fail, succeeded. But you know what's the saddest part is Tezuka died in 1989. He was not able to witness the rise of the anime. All of this is possible because of a single medical student who was crazy for animation. The birth of anime was not easy. It was desperate, kind of insane, but it worked. Anyways, that's it for the story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, there is another video where I talk about will AI take over the anime, basically the starting of this video. You can check out that too. And if you're still here, thanks for watching.